like I say, what happened was the Black King and self-proclaimed God. You would find in that if you looked when they were bombing and building that one canal where the dam busters were, they came along and bounced the thing, and they're hitting this dam basically. And if you look there, what you would actually find was JFK and the self-proclaimed Black God and King of Men. Anyway, he was there with JFK, and he actually had like JFK or somebody shoot down one of my aircraft, basically. And that's where JFK, fake Kennedy, actually begins. Is somewhere around there, and that's what we found. Because later on, he took over that aircraft facility, and basically he was claim. I think it was the Black Adolf Hitler, basically. He was using the name, and he was hiding there, and basically he started shooting down my aircraft as they came along, because what they were doing is they were bombing the canal. We had the canal blocked off, or the water blocked off or something, or dammed up, and they were deepening and widening the canal or something like that. So we were bombing, and my pilots were testing out the bombs and also just flying over. Anyway, there's some anti-aircraft things in around there, and I think what he did is he had gotten anti-aircraft from somewhere else, stolen them, and then he took them there, and then he put the kids on the anti-aircraft and had them start shooting down the aircraft, or something like that. And then he tried to start muscling in on that thing, and basically it was the Black King, that one guy with the ring, and he was trying to support this child Kennedy, and get him to take him to the top with him, or whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it was this black African king, and he was going to support him, and he did support him. And basically, he was using his black warriors. His well, basically, like I said, he had been in Africa, and he was a child or a young person, and he had seen. Well, he had picked up the AK-47. Like I said, he killed a German shopkeeper, and then he. And then raped like an English tutor, his English tutor or something like that. And then after that, this other girl was going there to be with someone, and she was already betrothed to him or whatever. They like that was his wife or something that was coming with the kids. Anyway, he saw the wife and liked her and decided that he was going to take her for himself. And he killed the guy and then raped the white wife and her daughters. I think she had two daughters. I'm not exactly sure, her daughter. Anyway, and then later on he meets up with or gets to know Kennedy or something, or meets someone. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure how it worked out, but basically that's the way it is. And then from there you get JFK and Nixon and basically Jimmy Carter and pretty much the Yales and the what's it called. And basically it's like a takeover of the planet, and it didn't really work out for them. Like I say, it didn't really work out. Because they were just rapists and they're just going around making a mess, and then you get a whole bunch of horrible stuff in America or the United States after what they did. Like I said, what they did was they put the Black Plague on the meat, and then distributed it all over the world, and then like I said, it was an airborne virus, so it hopped. And like I say, the thing was with Auschwitz and all my concentration camps and all my bases, we grow the food on site. We had our own cows, we had our own farms, so. And then we would ship the food to the processing plants. Well, it did go back to the bases sometimes, but not always. Like I said, there were a lot of bases where we did what's called. And then, like I said, the thing was they massively hit it. But like I say, the bases that got the food from the two plants, which was about 29% or 36% of the world's food. Actually were unaffected, like I said, because the screens caught it and got rid of it. Anyway, they did a bunch of other stuff, like poisoning the water supply and all kinds of other stuff, and I think we caught it most times, because like I said, my water systems were actually set up to where we would catch any kind of contaminants in the water. So they were fairly limited in what they could do, fortunately. So like I said, dead fish. Like I said, I think we had like fish. Well, what we did also is we had like a fish tank in the water. Some portion of the water would go through the fish tank, and if there was a poison in the water, the fish would die. And so we would know if someone was dumping in poisoned water, because then the fish would die. and we'd have dead fish, and then dead fish means the water's bad. So shut the gates. And we had it set up so pretty much as soon as the fish would die, like someone would always check the fish like every 30 minutes or every 20 minutes or so we could, and there's a water shut off down lower so we could close the gates. Anyway, like I said, believe it or not, my bases were, nobody knew how psycho I was. Like me in Germany, we were psycho. Like we knew eventually somebody would try something. It was only a matter of time. So like I said, we did a lot of things set up. So we had like the fish in the tank, so water overflow would flow past the fish and then go back into the system, and then so if there's any contamination in there or any poison in there, we'd have dead fish, and then they would hit the button, ding, and gates 3 miles down. What we did is we timed it from how long a poison that would affect a person would kill the fish to where the shutoff would have to be. Yeah, I know, we're that good. Germany was that good, by the way. And so is China. So they could go click, and then we'd get it pretty close. And then the gates would shut, and the water would shut off. And then people wouldn't die. So we were, like I said, Germany especially, and my water systems, all of my water systems were like super, super good, only nobody knew it. So anyway, like I said, next to that one thing, why they probably wanted to take the gliders and get down in there is probably because, I don't really know, but they probably wanted to get to my facility so they could try and poison the water system. But like I said, there were other safety factors. So if someone we actually, like I said, Renault and my team in Europe was really good. Like if somebody took that, then we know something's wrong, and then we shut the gate anyway. So we were like right there with it. So like I said, we caught basically 90% of it. I think we saved just about everyone. I mean, I think we only lost maybe as low as 23 million people. We did lose people, yes, but it wasn't as bad as it would have been. Like a lot of people said, it would have been a lot worse if you hadn't been like you were. And it's like, well, yeah, thanks. So yeah. Anyway, I come out like a super god hero, basically. And that's what happened. And that's why a lot of people pay homage to me, and why a lot of people paid homage to my Auschwitz, because after all this stuff happens, after they find out what the stock market people did in New York, and after they find out what Roosevelt did and what Nixon and all of them were doing, they were just going to poison 500 million people and then basically dance to the streets rich and basically party it up. And who lived? They didn't really care. Of course, they didn't anticipate the fact that that was an airborne virus that they actually infected the people with. So it spread like wildfire. I think they were planning on staying inside their bunkers long enough where it would burn itself out and then they'd pop up or something like that. But though my people did die, we stopped it, I think. It came close. I mean, we lost a lot of people. We did. We really did. But anyway, so that's what happened back during World War I or World War II, is that they did this stuff. And then they tried to carpet bomb a lot of people. And then, because some bases were affected, so they just walked on the base after everyone was sick and dead and just got in an aircraft and then loaded up the bombs and started bombing people. So, that's pretty much how they carpet bombed. And I'm not sure if that was Africa or who that was exactly, but it was really bad, like I say. Like, people don't really realize everything that happened and how bad it got and how close everyone came to dying. But like I said, Germany, Europe, China, we were on top of it. And we knew that eventually somebody would try something. So, and we were just like 5 or 6 years ahead of them. So when they started seeing the possibility of money and everything else, my systems held. So anyway, I'm always a little paranoid, a little cautious. So yeah. Anyway.